Hi guys, and welcome back to this week's budget review. So, for those of you who are new here, I picked a Hemlock and Oak 2023 daily planner as my budget planner for this year. Yes, he's dirty, he's a little crusty, but trust me, guys, this thing is beautiful. It's extremely well built, and they still do have some of the 2024 weekly and daily planners available. These things are, from what I understand, are handmade, so they do have limited qualities. I'm gonna leave a link to a flip through that I did when I first got it, if you're interested in seeing what this thing looks like before you beat the crap out of it. So, other than that, let's get into this week's review. Again, I'm gonna try to keep this thing short. I do have to pick my son up in like 30 minutes, so we're shooting for 30 minutes or less. So, they start out by giving you this 2 years at a glance page. What you see in pink, those are my projected payoff dates, which, like I said, I got the light at the end of the tunnel there at the end of next year. So that's hopeful and extremely motivating there. But one thing I did add to this page is I was just going to use it to do my projections, but I started highlighting the weeks of when I was paying off the cards or the accounts, however you prefer to refer to them as. And this was something that I normally wouldn't have done, but I don't know, I like it because it shows me that, yeah, paying on it every week is, yeah, it sucks. It seems like it's never ending, but I at least get to see that, those accounts do end and they do get paid off. And so, I mean, I am making progress. This is the most progress that I've made in any of my budget planners, so that's why I went ahead and picked up another one of these for next year. But you can see we're still on Discover because Discover is a beast. It gets its own Tetris chart. I really wish I could be putting more onto this, which technically I can be. I just choose to spend. And that's really the theme of this week is I really need to see, how serious I want to be about this because I think this is actually possible. It's just I really need to get my spending under control, but it is the summer months and we all know how difficult that is. So, the next set of pages that Hemlock and Oak gives you is this year at a glance. I call it a dashboard. Again, this was a page I never thought that I would be using in a budget planner, but it's kind of, like I said, like my dashboard, it's my main focus. I have all the paydays highlighted in green. The focus accounts, the ones that I'm paying on, are in red. If I do pay them off for that month, I do highlight it on the mini calendar. I have holidays on here, birthdays on here, vehicle expenses that we always forget about, large amounts of money in, taxes, like everything's on here, even my crappy credit score that is slowly improving. So, like I said, guys, this one's gonna be a quickie. So, they give you a page that has the holidays and, of course, important. I chose to do my starting balances for the year and line them up in the order that I needed to pay them off. Technically, I am doing a snowball method. It's just that Best Buy, City, and Discover, they were all 0% offers, and I had to pay them off before their, respective dates that the offer ended. Otherwise, I'd be paying the interest. So that's the whole reason behind this Discover thing is I'm trying to get this thing killed before I have to pay the interest on it. Otherwise, there's no reason in having a 0% offer. So, like, this is the worst part of setting up your debt payoff journey, but it's like extremely vital because if you don't know what you have to owe, you really have no goal. You're not motivated as much to keep making those weekly payments. And one thing that I do is at the end of every month, which July's is tomorrow. I thought about doing it today and I was like, you know what, I'm holding off because I'm kind of tempted to do an extra payment. But Basically, at the end of every month, I take all of the payments that I did for each month and I just add it up, and then we add another block to the total detrus. Which, I mean, we're making really big progress on this thing right here. I mean, this is kind of cool. I'm hoping by the end of December that I should be nearing the end of level 2, possibly up to level 3. So again, that's motivation in itself to keep making these payments and make all of this go bye-byes. So, that gets us into the month. I'm believing that this is like pretty self-explanatory by now, but all I do is I just take all the bills that I have for the month. I put them in the main color, which for July was blue. These are the bills that I really don't have a choice on paying. It's you really got to pay them. Everything that's in the alternative color, which is red for July, is the additionals. So these would be like my extra payments that I make for Discover to pay it off faster. I really didn't have to pay off ES, but I chose to because I'm not forgetting about it. Tanning, again, that's my monthly charge, so I just pay that on the first. God, what else do I got on here? My savings, my daily savings goal, I do $5 a day. So, 31 days times 5, that's 155. So I just split it into 75 and 80, and I take those out on my paydays. And okay, I got my no cards challenge, which I was doing really good January, February, mostly March, and then I crashed. Crashed and burned very heavily. I'm really starting to see the effects of that now. So I think I'm gonna start doing like a mini no card challenge starting tomorrow. Yes, I'm shooting for the whole month, but I'm literally gonna start challenging myself per week to see if that kind of helps keep me motivated there. Okay, and then yeah, we covered all of July's goals. I'm so sorry that this one is sped up, but like I said, guys, mama gotta do mama things. So, where I left Jens off last week would have been Sunday. The funds were getting super tight there. So it's like, okay, so I know things are getting a little tight. I did move the original Discover payment to yesterday, I believe, and which I did take care of, and I did use some of Ray's cleaning funds to help boost my account, but also at the same time make that additional payment to Discover, because again, I want that thing gone. Okay, so that leads us into Monday. This would have been a no card day, but of course, I have my McDonald's app set to my credit card instead of my bank account, mainly for points, which again, like I said, I'm starting to really consider, like, is the points worth it? And I'm starting to think they're not. So, made my regular bill payments, which yes, I do have them written twice. They're on the daily pages and the monthly. Again, this is just to make sure that I don't miss a payment because I have so many of them. But yeah, no, the McDonald's $2.33 doesn't seem like a lot, but trust me, guys, this adds up. So I pretty much already knew that with this amount right here leading into the end of the week, I was like, okay, we're going to actually keep the funds. You never know if a surprise thing's going to come out of your bank account. I do not want an overdraft charge or it to come out of my savings. So, technically, should I have spent this if I wasn't willing to pay it that day? No, according to my rules. But in one way, in hindsight, I'm kind of glad that I did this because it does let me see how much I charge, and I shouldn't be. So that leads us into Tuesday, which, if you remember at the end of June, my hot water tank went. Yeah, we finally got to that. Thank God it lasted as long as it did. But yeah, I had to order a new tank and of course the kit and its tray and all of that happy crap. But that went onto the Lowe's card. So, but I mean, I did at least get a 0%. But again, that's $700 now that I gotta pay by December. That could have went to Discover. So I'm a little sore about that. But you gotta do what you gotta do. So that gets us into Wednesday. Of course, I had to pay the person to put the tank in, so I had to go to the ATM. That did come out of the emergency savings. So, I mean, it sucks that I, had to pay that, but then again, I'm paying for services that I needed, but it was also covered by the savings, so it really didn't affect me. Yes, we did have to do an emergency trip to Domino's as well. Just because it was after 9. I normally go to bed at 6 p.m. So, yeah, we were dead tired. So, yeah, emergency trip to Domino's. The Dairy Queen, though, this is another one of those expenses of where I'm looking at it now and I'm like, dude, you shouldn't have done that. So, am I happy that I did it at the time? No. Again, hindsight, I'm thinking that these are adding up and it's teaching me a very valuable lesson for today. So, I mean, you got to see the silver lining when you can see it. So, that leads me into Thursday here. And let's see here, my focus thing, which my other phone is going off. I'm so sorry, guys, if you could hear it in the background. So we're saying keep it simple. So, yeah, this is where I'm getting actually aware that I am overspending. I'm trying to keep it as low as possible. Mainly, I was thinking of the $2.33 for McDonald's. The 9 something for Dairy Queen is another story that's unexcusable. But I do know myself pretty good, and since I'm stressed, I am more likely to spend and make larger purchases. So, kind of like knowing that I have these little purchases in the back of my mind, it does stop me from making the larger purchases, such as buying a maxi climber, buying a treadmill, buying, God, what else was I looking at? Like, I can't even remember. Like, I just go for these weird items that I know I don't need and I can't afford. And basically, I'm looking for something to be like, yeah, that will change your life and you won't have to go through this. And it's like, no, it won't, because you'll still be in debt. So, yeah, that's the main thing that I keep trying to remind myself is, I mean, yeah, would a treadmill benefit me? Yeah, I probably would use it, but I would use it because I knew I had to vacuum the house. Instead of just vacuuming the house, I'd be like, oh, no, gotta get on the treadmill. And that's how I would use it. So it's not really the correct way. That's what I was trying to buy. Freaking weight set. It was like a $300 weight set. So yeah, for some reason I buy the exercise equipment when I'm stressed out, and then it sits in the corner because I don't use it. Mainly because I don't have the time, and two, like I said, when I do use it, it's to procrastinate other tasks that really need to get done. So, hence the quote, keep it simple. The Wendy's $4 I'm okay with. That's not too bad. Normally 5 under, that's where I'm okay with. Yes, I had to get milk. I did use my $5 in Michael's rewards. I only spent $1.77. Here's the fun part. Can I tell you what I bought on that trip? I have no idea, and it's still in my car, guys. But, like I said, I got $5 of it for free, so, at least I got that. And of course, Bert's insurance. Okay, and that leads me to Friday. Friday was payday, which is hallelujah. We frickin' made it. I was actually really impressed that I still had 99 remaining. But then again, that's because I didn't make those payments on the charges, which you can see the little check marks because I did finally get to them, but I leave them as dots. So I know that I spent that money, but it doesn't come out of my bank account because it's a charge. But yeah, no, okay, so we go through the standard thing here is, I got paid. I always put back $22 out of every pay for my stash. That was the original raise that we got a couple years ago. I could update it because we just got a 70 more, so it could be like 90 some now. But as for right now, I'm keeping it at 22 so that, I could get these extra things paid off. Of course, that's the daily savings goal. That's the last payment. And of course, the Netflix and Hulu. So those came out. But it was a no card day because Sally stayed home. Sally stayed home and didn't buy anything, alright? That's how Sally doesn't use the credit card. Saturday, I kind of love because I never did a quote. I don't know what happened there. But then again, yesterday was a blur. So, I do know I used my Passion Planner rewards just because the ambassadorship thing is about to switch over. I have no idea if I'm continuing with that. They kind of didn't send me an email or nothing. I don't know if it just continues. So I decided, you know what, you better use those rewards. I had like 1,000 of them. So I got 3 more dailies. Those are coming in now. I only paid 11 for them. And of course, I had an emergency trip to Dairy Queen because I realized I did not eat for the day. But the good news is I did do that payment for Discover. That, remember, I moved from last week, so that was taken care of. He's on there, so at least we're keeping up with that. And that leads us to today. And basically all the payments are caught up. It did suck. It did. I sucked it up and covered all the charges for July with the final payment totaling $195.23, guys. That is from the 21st to the 29th, which is why I told you those little charges do add up. So yeah, I do like to take care of them day by day, but when I know that I'm crunching my balance, like I said, it was only at 99, we can see that, yeah, I wouldn't have had enough to cover them because that was the 28th, that's the 26th. So I would have went over, it would have went out on my savings. Oh, excuse me. Collagen does that to me. So, yeah. So I did, I'm so embarrassed, I'm sorry. This is what happens when you try to talk really fast after chugging collagen. But no, like, even though I wanted to pay those off on that day, which is the right thing to do, I wouldn't have had enough funds to cover it. It would have went out of my savings. I'd rather have that money in my savings because, like we saw, those savings saved me when I had to pay Jeff to put it in the hot water tank. Because other than that, I would have been like charging $200 more. So I do like my funds in my savings. I don't like to take from them. But I mean, I waited until after payday, sat and actually looked at the funds on what I had. I did still make that Discover Extra payment. And so, I mean, I have the $400 that I'm typically doing towards Discover every month. And I went ahead and just took care of all of those additional charges. So as long as I don't use that freaking card today and tomorrow, he's covered. It's done with for July. And like I said, I'm really, really, really hell-bent for this for next week because I don't want to keep doing this to myself. No wonder why I can't make the extra payments because of this. So I'm thinking this is why January and February were so smooth, is because I wasn't doing this. So that's my mission for next week, is we're making it the whole way through. I don't care what I want. I don't care what comes up. We're not using that freaking thing the whole week. Normally when I have my mind set to something like that, it does happen. So we're going to wait and see. And I mean, this is August, guys. This is what we're coming up to. So, it's just another round of paying the bills. So, yeah, you might have noticed I don't have like the Discover Challenge and stuff on there yet. It's because I do like to look at the total of it. So I normally don't write all that down until I do the actual Detris, just because I did that 1 month. I feel like it was with the city card and it didn't total out the way it was supposed to. But yeah, no, this is August. August is looking nice, smooth, and clean. And I mean, that's really where I'm gonna leave you at, guys. Because I still have to pick Ray up. He's at Bill's right now. But hopefully, I come back on here next week, telling you that I made it the whole week without using a freaking card, and that everything is going swimmingly well. And I don't know, maybe I won the lottery and paid off my debt in 1 week. You never know, guys. So, with that, I'm going to close out by saying thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. And please remember to hit that like and subscribe button to see more budget reviews.